for us to avoid cuts. Well, let's go back then and reevaluate all these claims that we got about government when we were in the 6th grade, by which government has more or less justified its ongoing growth, and Americans have acquiesced in it. Because I think even the best of us, in our heart of hearts, still can't quite emancipate ourselves from the idea that really government ultimately at root has our best interests at heart. It's wonderful, self-serving, well, there we go, that was a Freudian slip, wasn't it? It's wonderful, selfless public servants just looking out for the common good, and without them, well, we'd have no art, we'd have no science if it weren't for government science funding. See, I'm going to take on some of the hard cases. We'd all be ignoramuses if it weren't for the Federal Department of Education. We'd probably, our limbs would be blown off by exploding consumer products. We'd all be working for $1 a day in a mine somewhere. I mean, whatever. Right? I mean, every one of us in this room got that in school. Like, we all got that, and I understand, I mean, that is superficially plausible. I'm not saying people who believe this are idiots. I mean, I would be shocked if people believed anything different. This is what you're told 24 hours a day your whole lives. But what I'm trying to do is to stick a dagger through this. Because if I were running a racket like this, if I were running a racket like the U.S. government, that is exactly what I would want all you suckers to believe. That without my wise and paternal custodianship, you know, we'd all be a bunch of helpless and pathetic boobs. Oh man, I would so screw you guys too. But let's think though, let's imagine that the federal government is not the institution you read about in 6th grade civics. Let's suppose instead that our 6th grade textbook was wrong, and that the casual assumptions on which we have based so many of our political decisions have been faulty. Let's suppose the federal government has actually been an enemy of the people's welfare, and that the progress we've seen in our living standards has occurred quite in spite of it. It pits individuals, firms, industries,